In the mountains of Japan, there is a creature with a long nose and wings. He humbles arrogant monks and steals children. But the Tengu did not always live in the mountains. Once, he was a star that fell from the sky.
The story begins not in Japan, but in China, with a dog that devoured the sun. In ancient records, this creature was called Tengu, the heavenly dog. When it appeared, it was an omen of war and disaster. But how did this celestial dog become the mountain spirit we fear today?
In the classical Chinese text, the Shan Hai Jing, we find a creature called Tengu. It is described as a white dog with a red head, and its appearance signaled chaos. Later, in the Song dynasty, the Tengu was linked to eclipses. People believed it swallowed the sun. But in Japan, the story took a different turn.
In the Heian period, the Tengu appeared in Japanese records as a being that could take the form of a bird or a human. It was said to be a fallen priest, one who was too proud of his own enlightenment. This is the first hint of the Tengu's true nature, a creature of pride and punishment.
According to the Konjaku Monogatari, a collection of tales from the late Heian period, a Tengu once abducted a young boy. The boy was taken to a mountain and trained in the arts of war. When he returned years later, he could not say who taught him. He only said, "I was taught by the mountain."
This is the moment of reversal. The Tengu is not just a monster. He is a teacher, a mentor to the lost. But his lessons come at a price. The boy returns with a skill that sets him apart, but also with a silence that isolates him. He cannot speak of his master, for the Tengu demands secrecy.
In later centuries, the Tengu became the patron of martial artists and swordsmen. The famous warrior Minamoto no Yoshitsune was said to have learned swordsmanship from a Tengu on Mount Kurama. But this gift was double-edged. The Tengu's teachings were meant to humble the proud, not to exalt them.
Consider the story of a monk who claimed to have achieved enlightenment. He was arrogant, believing he had surpassed all others. One night, a Tengu appeared to him and said, "You have not yet reached the truth." The monk was humiliated. He realized that his pride had blinded him.
The Tengu's role as a punisher of pride is consistent across many tales. In the Zen tradition, there is a saying, "The Tengu's nose grows with pride." The long nose, which we now see as a comical feature, was originally a symbol of arrogance. The Tengu was a mirror reflecting the folly of those who thought too highly of themselves.
But there is another side to this mirror. The Tengu was once a being of great power, a celestial dog that could devour the sun. He fell from the sky and became a mountain spirit, bound to the earth. He lost his divine status, but he did not lose his pride. He became a guardian of the mountains, but also a tempter of the ambitious.
In the medieval period, the Tengu were divided into two types, the Dai Tengu, who were powerful and wise, and the Ko Tengu, who were mischievous and lesser. The Dai Tengu were often depicted as old men with long noses, living in the deep mountains. They were said to be the spirits of fallen priests, who had been too proud of their own knowledge.
This is the tragedy of the Tengu. He is not a villain, but a victim of his own ego. He was once a being of light, a heavenly dog that guarded the sky. But his pride led to his fall. Now, he roams the mountains, testing the hearts of men. He offers power, but only to those who can resist the lure of arrogance.
The Tengu's story is a warning. It tells us that talent without humility is a curse. The swordsman who trained with the Tengu became a master, but he also became a loner. The monk who was humbled by the Tengu was given a second chance, but only after he had lost everything.
So, the next time you see a long-nosed mask in a festival, remember the Tengu's true face. It is not a demon's face. It is the face of a fallen star, a creature of pride and punishment, a mirror that shows us what we could become if we let our ego rule.
We did not fear the Tengu's power. We feared becoming him.